Welcome to Good Games Spawn Point, the show for younger gamers by gamers. I'm Hex.
And I'm Bajo.
And I am D.A.R.R.E.N.
Today on the show, we're going to be exploring a world of symmetrical, six-sided, three-dimensional shapes.
Six-sided, three-dimensional shapes. Squares, triangles, oblongs, dodecahedron. Ah! Cubes! Cubes!
Affirmative, Bajo. Cube World. Cube World.
Right, well, I'm gonna go read the news.
Oh, speaking of cubes, can you name all 5 of the platonic solids, Hex? Well, there's the tetrahedron, the hexahedron, the octahedron, the dodecahedron, and the icosahedron.
Well, clearly the hexahedron's the best.
I think so as well.
Oh, thanks, Darren.
My cats are doing right now. Oh, emergency news light! Bajo here with all the news from around the world. Felix Zemdegs, a 17-year-old Australian, has been crowned the Rubik's Cube World Champion. The championship, held in Las Vegas, had 550 competitors. Felix posted the fastest average time of 8.18 seconds, with his single fastest solve coming in at a blistering 7.36 seconds. He also beat the current world record holder, Mats Valk, from the Netherlands, who had previously recorded a ridiculous 5.55 second solve time. Congratulations, Felix. A team of designers at the Royal College of Art in the UK have created a pair of devices that can give users superhero-like senses. The headsets, known as IDOS, consist of 2 parts which help you to isolate various signals and amplify them. One is a pair of goggles that can capture video and create ghost trails to help visualize movements. The other consists of a mouthpiece and headphones which block out ambient noise while focusing on specific sounds. These are then transmitted through your teeth through a technology known as bone conduction to create the illusion people are speaking inside your head. Amazing. All right, back to the studio. People are already talking inside my head. What was that? I do want a taco.
It has 12 edges, 6 faces, and 8 vertices.
Pretty cool there's a hexahedron and not a Bajoahedron. Aussie developers Flat Earth Games are tapping into our innate desire to build with their new tablet game, Towncraft. It's currently only available for iPad at the moment, but they hope to release it on other devices as well. So let's get crafting.
Similar to the basic concept behind Minecraft, you're dropped into the middle of a landscape with literally nothing but your wits about you. You must set about finding a few materials to craft some basic tools to get yourself started, like a hatchet to chop wood and a pickaxe to mine stone.
There's a nice little tutorial to teach you the basics, but after that, it's up to you to experiment with combining objects to see what you can come up with. There's no recipe index, it's all trial and error, but if you use common sense, you can work out most items fairly easily. Heat sand in a furnace to create glass, and combine glass panes with iron poles to create windows, for example.
You can also forage for seedlings to plant crops, which when harvested can be combined to make more complex food items. Harvest wheat, build yourself a windmill to make flour, build a well to fetch water, combine flour and water to create dough, then bake the dough in an oven to make bread. Easy.
It's a lovely experience, isn't it? Setting about your country lifestyle, making simple things from simple ingredients. Farming is probably the only element of the game that is even remotely stressful, as crops take time to grow. But if you don't harvest them when they're ripe, they'll wither and die and will need replanting. Tend to your crops well and they can be a lucrative business for your town.
Affirmative. As you expand your city, staying on top of all the various jobs that need to be done is much too time-consuming. So passing villagers can be hired to do the work for you. Everything from farming to chopping wood to operating your windmill. But they require wages and you need money to pay them, or they'll leave.
Yes, this is where all your hard work pays off. Finished items can be sold to traders, and the better and more complex the item, the more it's worth. I made most of my money from tables and dresses, as I found they were the easiest and quickest to make and sold for the most gold. To make dresses, I grew cotton, harvested it and spun it on a loom to make 2 different kinds of cloth, which I then crafted into fine frocks. Tables are a lot simpler though, it's just a matter of cutting the lumber into the right shapes at a woodworking bench. I made a lot of tables.
You also need to give your employees and villagers somewhere to sleep. Build nice houses out of timber and stone and furnish them with beds so they're comfortable. And keeping the area well lit with crafted lampposts all adds to creating a civilized town that will attract wealthier patrons to buy your goods.
The crafting can be a bit confusing at times though. I often found myself at a standstill with the recipes. There are often many separate components that need to be crafted individually before combining those items into the finished object you need. It does take time to stumble onto the right process, but that's part of the fun. It's like looking for a missing puzzle piece.
Yeah, I agree, and it is great when you figure those recipes out. For example, I knew that if I could plant grapes and hops, that I should be able to make wine and beer. But combining water and hops or water and grapes didn't seem to do it. Finally, I realised I needed to craft a barrel first, and the grapes and hops could be brewed in that to create beverages for my townsfolk.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun muddling through these processes, isn't it? But it was also a little inconsistent at times. For example, I managed to craft a counter which I could place in a house to make a shop. The item description said it would be perfect for furnishing buildings, but the game wouldn't let me place it anywhere, and I found that really frustrating. Turns out I needed to combine it with something to take it a step further, and then I could place it, such as combining it with mugs to turn it into a bar. So while some things are really clear, others not so much.
Yeah, I have so much flour and wheat, which I'm going through the laborious cooking process of turning it into bread, but I cannot for the life of me figure out how to create a bakery. Counter plus bread doesn't work, counter plus plates and forks doesn't work, but by Jove, I will figure it out! In the meantime, more tables, I guess.
It's important to note that these kinds of games can really thrive on community. No doubt fans of Towncraft will soon create their own online resources and recipe databases to help out other crafters so they can reach their full potential. Until then, there's a wonderful joy to be found in simple experimentation. And fishing.
I really enjoyed this. It's compelling in all the right ways. And as the name suggests, it's all about managing and crafting your town to your heart's content. So I'm giving it 7.5 out of 10 rubber chickens.
Yeah, this is the kind of game where hours just pass by without me noticing. It's just got that perfect balance of maintaining your crops and employees with just the freedom of exploration and experimentation. So I'm giving it 8.
Okay, you two, I suggest you evacuate the studio as I'm about to disrupt the space-time continuum.
Let's get out of here!
Preparing for temporal warp. Rupturing time stream. It is now November 1999. Australia has just voted against becoming a republic. Sega's new Dreamcast console has just been launched. And everyone is heading along to the cinema to see Toy Story 2.
Ride like the wind, Bullseye!
But more importantly, one of my old friends has just started his first Nintendo 64 game, Rocket, Robot on Wheels. Rocket is Whoopi World's maintenance robot, who must save the theme park from its evil mascot, Jojo. Despite being called Robot on Wheels, obviously Rocket only has one wheel. That's what happens when humans are left in charge of the name. Outrageous! The game was praised by players because of its groundbreaking physics. Most other games had very static worlds because 3D graphics were still in their infancy in '99. However, Rocket's tractor beam could lift up objects and move them around realistically to solve puzzles. Although we've never received a sequel, Rocket Robot on Wheels was made by the team at Sucker Punch, who went on to make the very successful Sly Raccoon and Infamous games.
Show your bling and let me shine you.
I have no idea what you're saying. And your suit sucks.
Trust Dan to go back in time to see a game about a robot.
Yeah. Well, we should get on with some questions. We'll start with this one from Will, who is in Wagga Wagga, New South Wales.
Wagga 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 wagga. Wagga 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 wagga. Hi GGSP, I was wondering if Little Big Planet karting was better than Little Big Planet 2. P.S. Hex, you are the best. Barjo, you're cool. And Darren, keep layering those noobs. Thanks. Well, Will, even though they are both Little Big Planet games, they are very different, so it's not totally fair to compare the two. But from a basic which game is better point of view, I definitely say Little Big Planet 2.
Yeah, Little Big Planet karting is a fun little karting game for sure, but Little Big Planet 2 is an amazing platformer with much better set of game creation tools. Loads of people have used it to create just about every kind of game imaginable, from top-down shooters to puzzle games, RPGs, and even karting games.
So yeah, if you were going to go for Little Big Planet karting, then you're going to get a solid karting game, but if you go for Little Big Planet 2, then you basically have access to thousands of different types of games, so we'd say go with that.
Okay, well, moving on to this one from Bunny Girl, who was in Furry Town, New South Wales.
Furry Town.
You see, that was my bunny.
Really?
They move their nose like this.
I thought that was your Darren impression. Looks like your
Because
Darren.
he's got the
Yeah.
eyes. No, this would be my Darren.
Gonna see my Darren impression? Hi, I'm Darren Robot. I'm annoying.
No, because you've got to be more like,
Lasers.
you've got to do the eyes, and then this is the mouth. When are you going to review Pokemon X and Y?
Well, Bunny Girl, like we do with most games, we'll be reviewing it when it comes out, which will be in October. Not that most games come out in October, just Pokemon X and Y. Well, it's not the only game to come in October. There's lots of games coming out then, so that's when we'll review it, in October, with all those other games.
Yeah, all right, well done, Bajo. You managed to make a very simple answer confusing and complicated.
Thanks, Hex. I'm a complicated guy.
Okay, well, let's just move on to this one from Mademoiselle Pancake, who lives in Pancake Villa in a town called Vanilla Sofa.
Mademoiselle.
Sounds tasty.
Madame. Hello, mes amis, French for my friends, at GGSP. I would like to know if there are any good games where you can explore the town and enter buildings and basically have a piece of freedom. I've heard that Grand Theft Auto has a free mode, but it's MA15 plus and I am way too young. Bago? Bargu? Beijio? Faces for you. Goodbye.
Well, I can think of a couple that might fit that bill, mademoiselle. The recent LEGO City Undercover on Wii U and the 3DS version both have an open world city for you to run around freely in. And LEGO Lord of the Rings actually had a nice big open world as well.
That is true, Hex. And a couple of Naruto games also have a fairly open world. Both Rise of the Ninja and The Broken Bond let you run around a few towns and do a few little quests. And both of those are Xbox 360 exclusives.
Other than that, I'd suggest Dragon Quest. It's an excellent series of RPGs that give you a lot of freedom, and you can find the latest one, Dragon Quest IX, on DS. There is a Dragon Quest X, which has been out in Japan for a little while too, but there's been no confirmation of a local release, so we're keeping an eye out for what's happening there.
As for some other ones I can think of, off the top of my head, Animal Crossing, Beyond Good and Evil, the Jack and Daxter games, all have some open world elements.
Well, there's more than a few to choose from there, so hopefully some of those tickle your fancy, mademoiselle. Let's move on to this one now from Pop Tartus Cactus, who is in Barjo's brain.
Just finishing off the Mademoiselle bound.
There's someone in your brain, Barjo.
Oh, Pop Tartus, yeah. Yeah.
He lives there.
Yep, sometimes he pops out and he goes, "Pting!" Goes back in. It's a circle of life in my head.
Pop Tartus Cat is here, scientific name for Nyan Cat. I have 4 questions. 1, I want to meet you guys. How can I? 2, Barjo and Hex, can you show me your cats? 3, can I get Octodad Dadliest Catch and the original on Mac? 4, can I get FTL on Mac? Please answer. Barjo, do this. Please answer. I love you guys. Pop Tartus Cat is out.
Whew, 4 questions, Hex. That's going to require some massive brain power. Excuse me while I just get my new and improved thinking hat.
What is that?
Back away, brainwaves in progress.
Whoa.
Yeah. Well, Pop Tartus, we usually show up at a big gaming convention, so keep an eye out for those. That's usually the best chance to meet us. I think the next one is in October in Sydney. I may even bring this hat so you can help see me
It's very
in
bright.
the crowds.
And we can definitely show you our cats.
Yeah.
Here are my 2 cats being adorable. They're just giving each other a bath. So cute.
Oh, so cute.
It's
Oh, so
Gandalf. The grey one is Gandalf, and the black and white one is Merlin. I named them after great wizards.
So cute. All right, my turn. Here's 8-Bit and Quasar. Oh, they're so cute.
Oh,
Look at them.
faces.
They're just having a little bath as well.
Oh, they love each other.
Who's the cute kitty? Who's the cute kitty?
Very
Who's the...
sweet.
Banjo speaking with hat.
Hey guys, it's Goose. Can I show my cat too?
Yay, more cats!
Go, Goose.
Oh, here's Lando. He's just a little kitten and he likes to play with boxes
so
and string and
sweet.
his little zebra print tennis ball.
Black and white, just like mine.
Oh, I think we should have cats on all the time. We can make the whole show about cats. Talk to you later, Goose.
Good cat special.
I believe this show is about video games, not about your cats.
Darren, I'm so glad you're back.
And the Spawnling asked about our cats, Darren.
Yeah.
I mean, look at them, they're so cute. You
Yeah.
can't deny that they're really cute.
But you have a cute robot on this show.
Oh, Darren, you're a little bit jealous of the cats. Cats get a bit too much negative.
Darren, are you jealous? You are.
Oh, you get
Carry on then.
Hi, Darren.
Just gets a bit left out
Oh,
sometimes.
he's so insecure all the time. Well, I suppose that is enough cats for now. As far as Octodad Dadliest Catch and the original on Mac, yes, you can absolutely do that. Well, you'll have to wait for Dadliest Catch to come out later in the year, but it will be coming to Mac when it releases.
And yes, you can also get FTL on Mac as well. But let's move on to this one from... Oh, I've still got the cat on there. Oh, so cute. This one's from Oscar, who is from Adelaide, South Australia.
All right, time to power this baby down.
Did it help?
No.
Hi, my name is Oscar and I am 7 years old. I love the show, I watch it all the time, and I love games. Please help me with Plants vs. Zombies 2. How do you get past level 10? Thank you. Well, we're glad you like the show, Oscar, and we can give you a couple of tips to help you get through that level. First of all, as you've noticed, there's heaps of annoying tombstones on this stage, so you're going to want to pick the cabbage poults, since they can launch over tombstones. Bloomerangs are also good, since they can shoot through them.
I also personally quite like to go with the walnut and bonk choy plants as well, because they can create a great first line of defense. But other plant combos work okay too.
Then, straight away, put a few sunflowers down and start putting cabbage poults in the path of oncoming zombies. You'll pretty quickly start getting tougher zombies coming at you, so use the walnuts to slow them down, or have at least 2 offensive plants in their way if you can afford them.
Then just keep building up your defenses, and don't forget to use the plant food for a boost if you need it. It can be a good idea to use it on a sunflower early on to help build up your defenses quickly, or I like to use it on cabbage poults when a big wave of zombies is coming.
And that should get you through the level easy enough, but if you ever get overwhelmed, then it's probably a good idea to just spend some coins on a power-up to help you out of that situation. Good luck with it, Oscar. I'm sure you can do it. Now, on to this one from, it's from Ben in Seven Hills. What happened to the hat that light went on?
This is now just a fashion accessory. 'Cause the hat didn't really do its job.
You could wear it to the Melbourne Cup.
Unlike the instructions in the box, which said it would make me smarter. Obviously, it didn't.
You'd be in all the fashion pages.
I will be a man about the town. You wait next month.
You already are a man about the town. You've got great,
Yes.
great style.
I got great style. Hi, good game. My question is, will there be PlayStation Move with the PS4? Thanks. You guys are awesome!
Yes, Ben, there will indeed be Move on PS4. In fact, it'll actually support the same Move as you've already got on PS3. You will need to buy one of the new PS4 cameras for it to work, though, but the exact same controller that you can get today will work. Having said that, they could be very well designing a brand new controller as well, so...
Just to confuse things, the current DualShock controller won't work on the PS4, so you will need to buy new controllers.
Right, well, I think we've got time for one more question, so let's go with this one from someone who is in Good Games Minecraft. Oh yeah, Good Games Minecraft House, which is in Victoria. Don't put the light on my head.
So stylish.
It's got sticky tape on it. It's going to stick to my hair.
Yeah, it's gonna hurt.
Ow. Can you please tell me FAT stands for in your loot collector? Please answer. Oh.
Well, it doesn't really stand for anything. It's just the cool way that cool people like us spell fat. It's fat with a PH.
Yeah, although the expression fat loots is a pretty common one in gaming, and it's just a way of saying that you found loads of good gear and equipment.
Yeah, so in the case of our loot collector, it's just a sign to let people know that's where you can get a lot of loot. But that didn't really fit on the sign, so collect fat loots here sounded and looked cooler.
Indeed it does, but on that note, we're out of time for this week.
Oh.
So if you've got a question for us, then you can jump on here and send it in.
Let's go!
I think I look quite good. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, good cats.
At first glance, Cube World appears to be a copy of Minecraft. It's set in a randomly generated realm. Players can craft gear and battle monsters and explore lands of majesty and wonder. And absolutely everything is made out of tiny little cubes.
Oh, voxels, Hex. Volumetric pixels. Like Minecraft, Cube World was created by just one man. In this case, a German programmer called Wolfram von Funk, or Wale to his friends. And just like Minecraft when we first reviewed it 3 years ago, Cube World is currently being sold as an alpha. The game isn't finished, but it is playable.
Yes, and the resemblance to Minecraft is uncanny, but Cube World plays quite differently. There is no mining at all. Instead, the focus is on slaying progressively more dangerous foes, scoring rare loots, and seeking new challenges in distant lands. The graphics look much better than Minecraft if you've got a decent graphics card, and there's far more variety in the enemies and the loot they drop.
Combat is much more involved as well. When creating your character, you can choose to be a warrior, a mage, a ranger, or a rogue, each with their own distinct playstyle. You can choose from a variety of fantasy races too, but being a frogman or a lizardman won't affect your abilities, just your appearance.
Players must make deft use of both quick attacks and charge attacks, and timing is very important. A dodge at just the right moment can mean the difference between life and death.
Yeah, you can't just spam your attacks like crazy. It's clear a lot of thought has gone into how the combat works, but I just thought it felt a little bit unbalanced.
Affirmative. You might easily dispatch a squad of human bandits, only to lose your life to a herd of cows. Cows, Bajo.
You could say that's utterly ridiculous. Because cows have udders. Well, at least the penalty for dying is so low. It's not like Terraria where you lose half your money. You simply respawn at a nearby angel statue. It's inconvenient, but fair.
I do like how slain creatures will de-res into little cubes, just like in Tron. Wale certainly likes his references.
Yeah, even more so, The Legend of Zelda is clearly a huge influence. All the characters have huge heads and big eyes, and all the characters are so cute, even the trolls. It's a lot like those old school Japanese role-playing games.
Yes, and much like those old-fashioned JRPGs, it drops you right in the deep end. There's no tutorial, and the characters in the game aren't much help either. They only say one thing.
It all does feel very sparse, doesn't it? There's no music, not yet anyway, and if it weren't for the random battles with friendly and hostile NPCs, then Cube World would feel like a pretty empty place.
Yes, but it is possible to tame every wild animal in the game by feeding it its favourite food. Oh, I haven't got the hang of it yet, but I want to ride a cat so badly, Hex! Oh! I also found the camera controls indoors to be a little funky.
It's obvious that Wale has a very clear vision of what he wants to create with Cube World. He's listening to feedback from his fans and he's constantly fixing bugs and adding new features, mobs and gameplay items, but progress is so slow.
Yeah, it is very slow and a terrible kind of anticipation too. What if I don't like the things that get put in the game? What if I don't like the story? What if I disagree with the balance tweaks? What if I never get to ride a cat?
Wale did recently double his production team. His wife, Pixie, is now working on the game as well. But with just 2 humans at work on Cube World, perfecting the game is going to take a long time. In all likelihood, years.
Yes, it has a long way to go, but it's kind of in that early stage that Minecraft was in, because when that first came out, it was very rough as well, but now, look at what it's become. So I'm happy to put this one on the shelf for a little while and let it mature. For now, though, I'm giving it an alpha score of 7 out of 10 rubber chickens.
For me, I'm just enjoying the ambience. Wale calls this an exploration RPG, and really the leveling up and the grinding for legendaries is kind of a game in itself. I'm giving this an alpha score of 8. Well, Spawnling, sadly that brings us to the end of another show.
Yes, but we shall be back next week with Mario and Luigi Dream Team.
Could I review that one, pretty please?
No, Darren, you cannot review it, and what's more, you can't even pick it up. In fact, we've informed the mailroom that under no circumstances are any games to be given to robots. Not Darren robots, not French robots, not work experience robots, no robots at all.
Not even Kerry O'Brien.
No, Darren, we're on to your game. Until next week, Bajo out.
Tex out.
Darren out.
Is Kerry O'Brien a robot?
Yeah, he's part cyborg.